Hi everyone, this is Dion Sol. I hope everyone is doing well. And as you see, we are currently in flight in the 737-200 by FlightSim here on the X-Plane platform. Unfortunately, we do not have any sound because for some stupid reason, after my computer got reset, my headphones jacked up, and when it did that, so now I lost sound. But that's not what this video is about today. But we are flying the 737-200, and why we are in transit to Salt Lake City, Utah, on this FSA FS Airlines job. I thought we would do something, and that is we have got the Navigraph. FlightSim.com or FlightSim Navigraph survey, and so I thought I would just do a video on taking the survey. Why not? And then you could probably in your comments down below on some of them, you can put some timestamps in and say, hey, yeah, Dion, I agree, or no, I don't agree, or whatever, and that's cool. So and that's fine. So at any rate, and you can check out all my content as you can see on the two labels on the top right hand corner over on YouTube, along with Odyssey and Rebel. So without further ado, let's go ahead and get into this Navigraph survey, so I can try to get this before I have to land the airplane. So when you click on the link in your web browser, you get this. And so then I'm not going to read all this. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go like this, and we're going to let it read it.
Together with several major add-on developers and organizations within the flight simulation community, Navigraph is back conducting the annual Flight Sim Community Survey. Like previous years, this year's survey has an emphasis on the major flight simulators, but the survey also includes questions about add-ons, tools, and flight simulation on mobile devices and consoles. The answers you provide in this survey will directly help guide future projects and development in the FlightSim community. Feel free to start when you are ready by pressing the Next button below. If you feel the need to go back to a previous page at some point, don't use the browser's back button but press the previous button within the survey.
Okay, so we got that taken care of. Survey Monkey, getting all my information probably. Okay, so here we go. So let's see if we can, I tell you what, we're going to skip, well, I'll probably be just doing just the questions.
While this survey is organized and compiled by Navigraph, this is the work of more than 40 partners who help in designing the questions and spreading the word. Please take a moment and tell us which ones you have engaged with in the last 12 months. Please note that this is a list of survey partners, not an exhaustive list of all actors in the community. In-depth questions with more options will follow later in the survey.
Oh, I see they got some in here. Okay, survey number 1. So we'll go like this, like this.
Have you used software or data from any of these developers in the last 12 months?
Okay, in the last 12 months, Aerosoft, yeah, because some of the, in Microsoft Flight Simulator, some of the aircraft that you get for free are Aerosoft, so you have to check yes. AviTab, you can install that plugin for AviTab in the X-Plane platform if you choose to do so, and I currently have it right here, so I would say, here's AviTab right here in the 737-200 as I am doing this video. So, yeah, I think I use that. Carinado, yes, I've flown some Carinado General Dynamics, which is going to be DCS, no. Flight Sim Labs, no. Flight 1, yes, because of the GTN 750. That's where I got the GTN 750 right here in the X-Plane platform from Reality XP is through Flight 1. So that's why. Flight Gear, no. Fly-by-wire sim, yeah, because of the Microsoft Flight Simulator platform with the Airbus A320. Even though I don't fly it, but I do have it installed. Infinite Flight, no. Laminar, X-Plane, obviously X-Plane. I just showed you X-Plane. I'm currently flying an X-Plane. Milviz, yes, I have some stuff. Obviously Navigraph, because the host of this particular one. Orbix, I don't know if I have any Orbix stuff. So PMS5, that is the GTN 750 mod for the Microsoft Flight Simulator platform, and I've done a video on that and how disappointed I was in their product. And you can search the video on my content about that. ProSim, don't know anything about. Rex, yeah, I do have Rex. I have bought the Rex Weather for Microsoft Flight Simulator 2020. Don't use it that much. Salty simulations. I'm not familiar with that one. SimBrief. I did the video, or the flight I'm doing right now was compiled using SimBrief. So there you go. Sim for flight I'm not know. Then TFI. Now they are the ones that designed their own GTN 750 mod that I did not play with, or I don't have I have not experienced. That's a GTN 750 for the Microsoft Flight Simulator platform. So I don't know anything about that one. I know I'm aware of it, but I have not played around with it. So let's see what this one says.
Have you consumed media, read magazines, viewed videos, or visited websites from any of these sources in the last 12 months?
Okay. So FlightSim.com, yes. Flight Simulator blog, no. Yes, I have. No. Flight Sim News, yeah, I just did that the other day, and of course now my granddaughter's wanting to bug me as I'm trying to do a video. I'll be right back. Alrighty, so those are the ones. Sim Flight I'm not familiar with. Threshold I am familiar with on the X-Plane platform side of things. Have you flown any of these networks in the last 12 months? Nope. I don't really do online flight that much, so yeah, no, I haven't messed with that. Have you ever visited FlightSim Expo? No, I'd like to go. We did have one here in Southern California, over in San Diego, but just drama with me dealing with family and whatnot. It just didn't work out. So, unfortunately, no. I'd love to go. Check it out and mingle with my fellow YouTube content creators and content, I should say, video content creators, because this is being done also on Rumble and on Odyssey, and also BitChute for that matter. Have you used hardware from the Honeycomb in the last 12? Yes, I own both the throttle quadrant and the throttle the yoke as well. And I'm looking forward to being able to purchase, if they ever get it finished, and that would be a rudder pedal, so I can get rid of my Cytec rudder pedals, because it is showing its age. I've had it for since 2015, so we're up to what is that? 6 years, 7 years now, something like that. Without doing the math. Okay. So what do we got? How old am I? Well, I don't care if you guys know how old I am. So I am 55. I am an old mofo. What describes your gender? Male, because it's kind of obvious when you look at me. I'm male. There's only two. These other ones, binary, other, and I prefer not to say. Okay, prefer not to say is fine. Binary, non-binary, whatever. I could go off on a political rant on this other stuff, but never mind. What is your employment status? Well, unfortunately, was there forced retirement in here anywhere? I guess I'll just say semi-retired. Where do you live? Okay, this I'm not going to answer in this particular one. Well, I'll answer it after I get through this page, because I don't need to dox myself for where I'm at. So we'll leave that one alone. Of course, now they're forcing me to answer it, but you guys are not going to see the answer. Let's see, what is the highest high school education level? Of course, is going to be high school. Then I went right to work. I was a working man. Working mans don't mess around. What you do is you get a job and you go to work. And you know what I'm going to do? What I'm going to do is I'm going to jump. While I'm answering that, where I live, I'm going to jump into the center screen just like that. Ha ha ha! And then I will say, then I can actually put in where I actually live. Is it just the United States? Oh, okay, it's just the United States. Well, that's fair enough. Okay, I don't care about that. I thought they was wanting my address and everything, and that sort of thing. So, okay, fine. United States. I mean, I'm in the United States, so that's not a big deal. United States is a big place. Where's your current income level? I prefer not to say. You don't need to know. Besides, I'm retired. I don't get any money, so I'll prefer not to say. How's that? Okay, what do we got going on here on this one? I'll let it read it for us.
We know from the previous survey that there is a big overlap of aviation as a job and flight simulation as an interest. We would like to follow up on this and see how many trained pilots that also enjoy flight simulation.
Do you work in the aviation industry? No. What pilot license do you currently have? None. I can't afford it. Are you currently enrolled in flight school? No, because I can't afford it. Are you considering taking a real-world flight lessons next year? No, because I can't afford it. Let's see. How often do you fly any of the following flight simulators? Okay, well, last year, okay, do I need to, do I have to pick them all and make a decision? How often do you fly any? Oh, I'll just do, okay, 2020, 2022, never. '04, never. FX, never. 2020, I'm just going to say um, frequently because Xbox, none. I'm not a console peasant. Dovetail FX, I own it, but I don't fly it. X-Plane 10, I do own it, but I don't fly it. X-Plane 11 to 4.1, well, no, because I'm in Lex 150 plus. So I'm going to do frequently on both of them because I bounce between the two flight sims. Mobile, no, I'm not a mobile person. No, 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 no. Lockheed Martin, no, 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 no. Now, Falcon 4.0, I own the original. I can't get it right now, but I do have the original box and the whole CDs and everything of the original Falcon 4.0 that I bought. DCS World, I do have it on my Steam, but I don't use it. And then there you go. Okay, so that takes care of that one. So I should say only the two. And like I say, frequently is just because I, I, I split my time. I actually picked the wrong one, so I need to up that. There we go. Okay, what type of simulator what type of simulation do you normally do? Normally fixed wing. I wish they'd have almost always. You know, I'm not going to say. I have to say frequently because I like dipping my toes into helicopters, and then air traffic control never. A combat pilot no, not a combat pilot. So helicopter. I mean, I can almost. It's almost always. There should be an almost always here. How often do you fly simulators in the following platforms? Mobile, tablet, never. PC, always. Console, never. Not a console peasant. What is the main purpose of your flight simulation? Well, it's see, they're gonna want me. They're gonna box me into casual. But the reality is that I'm more than just casual. I'm what can I say? Uh, okay, I'll say keep it real as P-O. Oh, sorry. Possible? Possible? I think I spelled that wrong. Of course I spelled it wrong because I can't spell crap. Remember, I'm only high school educated here. Open Notepad. So what I do is I go over here to Notepad and I hit possible. Possible. There. And then I come over here like this. Looks like I might have spelled it close. Close enough. And you can hear my voice dictation thing. Okay, there we go. That's how you get around that for people who don't spell very well. Just the way I am. Okay, well anyway, how do you fly? How do you normally fly? Well, I kind of mix between the two. So I'm just going to do mix between the two. There you go. Oh, requires an answer. One question. Okay, well, normally, fine. Then I'll just, there. Happy? I'll just do VFR then. This question requires an answer. Well, I did. Oh, okay. I see what it's doing. Casually without rules. Sometimes. Whatever. I see what it was doing. There you go. No. Do you own an Xbox? No. Not a console peasant. Do you simulate our mobile? Why are you asking the same questions over and again? You know, they're asking the same question that we just answered in the previous questions, but the same one all over again. They really want to. They want to. It's kind of like they're trying to trip you up, like they're trying to do an agenda here. Do you fly simulators on a desktop or laptop? Well, yes, I do. Okay, regardless of simulator, you okay? What did it say here? Okay, I'm gonna be lazy here. Right click and then have it read it to me.
Regardless of which simulator you may be flying, we want to know more about your preferences and your background.
Well, okay then. Then what we'll do is we will say, okay, single, yeah, frequently, multi-engine, frequently, turboprops, frequently, narrow body jetliners, frequently. I mean, wide bodies, sometimes. See, I'm going to go on the sometimes or infrequently on these two because I'm more of a prop guy. I'm a piston head and a turboprop head than I am freighters. No. Wide body freighters. No. Business jets. Yeah, sometimes. Combat. Never. Warbirds. Never. Helicopter. Infrequent. Float planes. I really like my float planes. So I'll go ahead. They're high in my priority. Gliders. None. Drones. None. There you go. You'd think I'd be filling out a voting card. Have you switched your primary flight simulator software this year? Have you switched? No. No, I haven't switched. Because I am flying both platforms, Microsoft Flight Simulator and X-Plane. So last year I voted yes because I did. I actually went from, because it was the new Microsoft Flight Simulator 2020 was the new shiny, so then I flipped it to to Microsoft Flight Simulator. Now I'm just kind of going between the two, bouncing between the two platforms. So I'll just leave it no. How likely is it for you? Will you be buying X-Plane 12? Very likely. Almost. You should put certainly in here as another category. Certainly. How many times do you use the flight simulator per week on average? How many times do you use? Well, okay, there's 7 days in a week, so that's 7 times right there. How many hours? Well, they'll probably get up to how many hours. So I would say we're going to say 7. I fly every day. How many hours? Well, almost every day. There's, how many hours do you? Here it is. How many hours do you use a simulator during a typical session? Well, that's anywhere between 30 minutes to 4 hours. So typical will average it at 2.5 hours. There you go. No, they'll probably don't like that 2.5 hours. Did you start learning to did you start learning to pilot a new aircraft type in the last 12 months? Yeah, I've been flying all kinds of things. I bounce. What don't you like? Okay, you don't like my decimal value? You piece of shit. F you, man. Okay, which sources do you use when learning to pilot a new aircraft? Well, I will sometimes look at the forums. I never look at the manual. Video tutorials? Yeah, sometimes. Trial and error? All the time. Ask a friend? Yes. So did I miss one? Oh, in-game training? No, not really. I don't look at the in-game training. How you have a good aircraft, a good flight model, a good aircraft that a good add-on. I'm trying to say is if you use your existing experience in aviation and you jump right into the aircraft, get familiar with the knobs, buttons, dials, switches, and everything else, and then just go. Because we're in a flight simulation. We're not in a real world aircraft. So how I do it now some people will disagree with me on this. That's fine. You disagree with me, you disagree with me. I don't care. I do me, you do you. but that's how you know you have a good quality aircraft, is a flight model that you paid money for, is you can just get in and go, and then you learn all the nuances of an aircraft after the fact, as you build your knowledge with the aircraft. So that's how you determine a good developer versus a bad developer. A good developer will let you get into the aircraft, and if you have your background knowledge, you should be able to flip that switch, light those fires, and you should be able to get in the air with not ease, but with very little of having to go to the manual. If it's the exact opposite, where you got to go to the manual just to be able to turn on the lights, then then the developer's got a problem, and they need to fix that. And still have, and also the developer needs to be able to be aware that, hey, most flight simulation and aviation enthusiasts, especially like me, want study level or near study level quality, which means you got to learn all the buttons, knobs, dials, switches, and everything else. But you don't have to have it right off the bat. You can just jump right in later on. So that's the mark of a good developer. FlightSim that you see right here, that I currently have this paused, they are a good developer. I was hard on FlightSim on my very first video I did doing my review of the 737-200, but over time I've come to really enjoy this aircraft, and with the level of detail that they still have things that could be more detailed, but all in all, this flight model, or this flight aircraft, is awesome. And I tip my hat to FlightSim for making a great model, and I'm sure the Q400 that just came out as of this recording, the Q400-8, Q400 is probably going to be the same level of quality detail, or even better, because it's going to be a newer product. I haven't bought it yet because I'm waiting for it to go on sale. It's too new of a product, so this year, around here in 2021, because it's so close to the release date, FlightSim did not give anybody a discount for the aircraft, to my knowledge. I could be wrong on that assessment. I haven't looked, so from last I checked, it was still $79, I think or something like that, $74, something like that. And so I didn't pull the trigger, so that's okay. I'll wait till it gets cheaper, and probably wait till X-Plane 12 comes out, because I am, like I said in the previous one, I am buying X-Plane 12, and I can go on to that later on. But anyway, so like I said, yeah, that's very important to have an aircraft developer flush out their airplane where you get that near study level quality or the steady level quality, and not be pigeonholed into making sure it's going to work with the Xbox platform. The biggest Achilles heel with Microsoft Flight Simulator today, or it's going to be going forward, is that Asobo and Microsoft is going to keep on dumbing down the sim. This is my opinion. Is going to keep on dumbing down the sim, where it's not going to be as good as X-Plane as far as the flight model and all that sort of thing, is because they've built themselves into a box where they got to be inside the Xbox platform, which isn't as good. If they come out with study level products that are just as good, then I will eat my words and I'll say, okay, fine, I was wrong. But until I see it, and that's another reason why I'm on the X-Plane platform right now as of this recording, bouncing between the two, but kind of been heavy on X-Plane as of late, is because Microsoft Flight Simulator, a year after its release, which maybe some of these questions will come up to, might be maybe to be able to flush that out even more, but I'll just say it right now, is that Microsoft Flight Simulator is falling on its face. It's just not coming out with the content a year in the shelf life of Microsoft Flight Simulator, with the speed of the way things are today, and how things can be developed faster than they've ever been before as far as creating content. It's just Milviz, as an example. Milviz is coming out with their own 737-200 for the Microsoft Flight Simulator platform. And this is before Microsoft Flight Simulator 2020 was released last year in 2020. But here it is, a year and a half later, and we still don't really have anything on it. And I would have thought they'd have been farther along, at least give us some more tidbits, maybe even some some stick and rudder, videos on seeing what this thing looks like and seeing what the quality is going to be. But I probably will. I might buy it, but I don't know. I'm going to I'm on the fence right now with the Melviz 737-200 is because I don't know if it's gonna. I've got used to the quality that FlightSim has with all the details that FlightSim has given us as flyers of this aircraft, of this add-on. So if Melviz doesn't have the quality as what FlightSim is, I probably would be reluctant to buying it, and that sort of thing. So that's my opinion on that. But anyway, back to this. So we'll go on over to the next one. Because me and my tangents. What type of aircraft control do you mainly use when flying? Add-ons, offline? Well, actually both. I guess I'll just say default simulator. Can I do both? I'll just say add-ons because I do have ATC add-ons. Do you operate as a virtual aircraft controller? No, I have no interest in that at all. And I'm glad other people do, but me, no.
FlightSim is fun and exciting, and there are so many products out there that can amplify your experience, but is it worth the money? We would like to ask about your spending so that developers can meet your expectations about price point in relation to their efforts.
Okay, so how often do you purchase flight simulator products from one of these online stores? Never. Amazon? Never. Apple? Never. Aviation? I never heard of them. Never. 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 Flight One? Well, how often? Oh, I can't say never. I'll just say sometimes because I've bought one product from them and that's it. FlightSim Store, FlightSimStore.com. Never heard of them, so there. Never heard of this one. FlightSim.com. I haven't bought any products from FlightSim.com. FlightSim.to. I haven't bought any products. I mean, I've downloaded tons of content from them, but I've never bought from them. So I'm just going to say no. Just Fly. I have. I'll just say sometimes because FlightSim Marketplace. Sometimes. Orbix. I've never bought anything from them. PC Aviator. Never bought anything from them. FlightSim Market, never buy anything. Steam Power, no. Threshold, no. Aviation, sometimes. Xplane.org. Well, actually, I need to go heavy on these, and I need to go heavy on these because I bought most of my stuff from those four stores. Considering all the software and data you use for flight simulation, what tends to be freeware versus payware? Okay, so okay, maybe read that again. Let me let it read it so I can comprehend what it just said.
Considering all the software and data which you use for flight simulation, what tends to be freeware versus payware?
Well, it's equal, Flight simulator software. Oh, it's payware only. Flight simulator software. Flight planning software is mixed. Is equal. Aircraft is mixed. Data, payware only. Charts, payware. Well, actually, you can't get it from. So I'm gonna leave that. Let's go mostly payware on that. Scenery. I don't buy any scenery, so it's all freeware. Weather. Well, weather comes out of the box, but I have bought payware. I bought payware weather things. ATC and traffic. Like I say again, I've done mixed bags, so we'll do equal on that one. So there we go. That takes care of that. And then,
to many people in the community, this is the most important part of the survey. Not only does it show the progress of technology, but also gives valuable input to software developer which platforms to focus on.
okay, so which operating system are you running your primary flight simulator on? Well, right now it's going to be X-Plane 10 because X-Plane 11, my computer can't run it. Eventually, I'm going to switch over to Linux. So as far as X-Plane is concerned, it'll be on Linux. Which graphics cards? Can I click on more than one? No. That's sad. Because right now, as of this recording, I'm running on X-Plane 10, or Windows 10. Which graphics card do you use for primary flight simulation? A graphics card? Okay, well, that would be NVIDIA. Okay, which NVIDIA video cards do you have? Boy, they're really trying to dox me, aren't they? 1080 Founders Edition. That's fine. Are you happy with the performance of the current graphics card? Well, yeah, because you can't afford to get another one. Too damn expensive. Do you have? How much RAM do you have? Well, it's because it's a Founders Edition. It's 8. Is it important for you to I can't even read.
Is it important for you that you can use the flight simulator platform to log hours towards a pilot license?
Yeah, it would be important if I was going after that sort of thing. So yeah, it would. Do you own a VR headset? No, I'd love to. I just don't have the computer to run it. Remember, my computer is 14 years old. Oh, not that old. No, it's not 14 years old. Correct that. My computer is 2014 is when I built it. So but it's still old.
This section is all about charts. Which products do you use? Which formats do you prefer?
Okay. So I just click on what I want here. So air, navigation, chart fox, blah. I just use Navigraph charts. Navigraph charts. There you go. I use Sky Vector. Blah blah blah. And then all these other ones. Flight Plan Go. Those are the only two I guess I really use. They are Jepson charts. Okay. What chart formats have you encountered? Well, Jepson, obviously. I guess you could say Nav Blue, but actually there's no charts in Nav Blue because Microsoft Flight Simulator, to this day, you still don't have charts in Microsoft Flight Simulator that they said they were going to give us at launch. So this right here is a joke, because Microsoft really sold us flights aviation enthusiasts a bill of goods because they said that we were going to have we were going to be able to, or now this is what was going around at the time. What was going around at the time was that we were going to be able to dial in a frequency and we'd be able to hear another person, another human talking as part of the live traffic that you're going to see, because you click on live traffic, but you're actually going to be able to go to a frequency like 122.8 or 122.50 or 121.50, whichever one guard frequency is, and you'd be able to talk to people and that sort of thing, and you'd be able to hear them on approaches, landings, and everything else. They also said that we were going to get charts, that in their avionics packages we would be able to, with the Nav Blue setup, you were going to actually have charts, and you'd be able to put in your charts and everything. And you still haven't got that a year or so into Microsoft Flight Simulator. That's why I own Navigraph charts, because I want that data, but they don't have it, and I also want it for the X-Plane platform as well. So that's why I have my Navigraph, and that's why I spend $100 a year on Navigraph products, because I need that stuff to make my flight simulation aviation experience as realistic as possible. So yeah, that Nav Blue is a joke. They can go kiss off on that, and that's why I use Navigraph. What chart formats do you prefer? Well, I'm using, I guess, Jepson, because that's what I'm using for Navigraph. So there you go. Move on. What's better than add-ons and more add-ons? Okay. What influences you the most when deciding to purchase add-on software? Oh, okay. Forums by other users. Yeah, that's important. Newsletters from add-on developers. I don't really care. Ads and reviews in printed magazines. No. Printed magazines? Hell, we don't use magazines anymore. This is 2021. It's all online. So why would you even have that? That's stupid. News and reviews from online news sites. Yeah, okay, that's important, I guess. Ads and reviews on blogs, social media platforms. I'm not really indifferent on that, unless they're talking about YouTube. Well, video reviews and tutorials. Well, that right there is what's very important, because that's what what everybody goes to. And that's how you're trying to structure this frame of questioning. You're trying to frame it like we use everything online now. We don't use printed paper anymore. We're cutting down all those trees. Watching live streams and shows, sure. Offers on online stores, I guess. I mean, I'm indifferent, but if it's cheap, then I'll buy it. Recommended by friends, of course. So there you go. The bottom line, I was trying to structure that. I was trying to frame it myself as the partaking in this survey, that yes, I use online platforms. I don't screw around with magazines and printed paper. That's gone away with the dodo and everything else.
Let's get a little more specific about the add-ons you prefer. What's important when you select an aircraft add-on?
What are the most important features for you when deciding on an add-on aircraft to purchase? Visual realism, very important. External, very important. Set of instruments and avionics modeled, very important. Flight dynamics, very important. Documentation, well, because you want to go into the finer details, as I discussed before. So yeah, you want the documentation as well. Engine and systems realism, absolutely, and that's the biggest problem that Microsoft Flight Simulator 2020 has, is they don't have any system modeling to speak of. Some do, but most don't. Number of liveries, see, this is where I don't care. Especially, all you got to give me is you got to give me a plain white wrapper, in other words, a blank one, and then I'll build my own livery, providing if it's I can use it on GIMP or something. Sounds is very important. Price, price is very important. I don't want to be too damn expensive. Purchase process, as long as I get the damn thing, I don't care. Customer service and whatnot, I don't really have to deal with customer service other than when my code runs out and I have to go back and because of DRM bullshit. But other than that, add-on developers' reputation. That's important. If you have it's the word of mouth is going to get around, and that's to the developers themselves. If they, I can think of one, BT Productions, I think it is, Big Tire Productions, on the Microsoft Flight Simulator platform. They made the oh crap, I bought it too, and it was a piece of shit. It was the brain fart, thinking. It was the slow. It was the Kit Fox, and they actually painted the Kit Fox without the permission, according to what what's his name said. His version of the Kit Fox, Trent Palmer, without his permission, they painted it. And he wasn't too happy about that. And then they were trying to sell the product on Microsoft Flight Simulator, having Trent Palmer's Kit Fox all plastered all over the place. But bottom line is the product was crap. It was really, really bad. And so Big Tire Productions, as far as my personal opinion, I don't care. They got like one or two other on the Microsoft Flight Simulator store of two other products of theirs. I didn't even bother because of that first one. First impression is very important, and every product that you make is going to be someone's first impression. And that's what some developers need to get through their heads, is that, hey, you got to make this product the best that it can be, or let the customer know, hey, this is still a work in progress. We are making this better, yada, 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 that kind of thing. But first impressions is very important. And if you make a product that sucks, then you have customers that just won't buy your product ever again. And I haven't touched Big Tire Studios or Big Tire Productions products ever since. And I think they got the C90 I think it's Big Tire Productions and that 73 and that Embraer 170 on the Microsoft Flight Simulator Store. I think those two products are theirs as well. I'd have to actually load in the sim to verify what I just said, and if I'm wrong, you can make the comments down below. That way you can give me some engagement. But that's my understanding is, and I haven't, I just thumb my nose at like, no thanks. Okay, moving right along. As real as it gets, if that's the old saying, that's how we want it. In this section, this covers software which improves the visual realism. Based on the types of flying you do, what aspects of scenery add-ons are important to you? Terrain, high-level resolution, yeah. Orthoscopic high resolution, yeah. Accurate coastlines and river lakes, yeah. Detail airports, sure. Presence of familiar landmarks, absolutely. Which characteristics of airport add-ons you consider to be very important? Visual quality, very important. Accuracy, very important. The airports is up to date. That didn't have to be. So just to give them a little bit an extra level of detail, obviously high. I don't care. I want that to be so damn detailed that it's going to crash the sim. Because then when I upgrade my computer, then I'll be able to run it later on. Okay. What are the following types of weather services do you use? Generated by the simulator? No. Generated by ATC networks? No. Generated by free software? Or payware software. Except for Microsoft Flight Simulator, because Microsoft Flight Simulator is generated by the simulator. But I do have Rex, which I use sometimes. So, but I'm gonna do this in the context of the X-Plane platform, which would be payware. So I do use payware, but X-Plane is going to make it so then what's generated by the simulator is going to be good. Then you won't need the payware anymore. So, that's a good thing. Okay, considering the weather inside the simulator, please rate how important the following aspects are to you. How important is the weather experience overall in your flight simulation sessions? It's very important. Weather is just as important as the yoke that you use to fly the airplane. I mean, you're going to be going in and out of weather. You're going to have temperature variations. You're going to have going through snow, through rain. You want the rain depicted on your windshield. You want the snow depicted on your windshield. You want water droplets dropping down when you're getting inside your airplane from a cold and dark. You want those water droplets to fall on the ground off of the aircraft. That kind of thing. So yeah, weather is very important. Is it important to be able to worsen the weather conditions such that you have to rely on instrument navigation? Yeah, it's important, but I don't do that. So I'll just go indifferent because I do real world weather. Remember, as real as it gets, as it's set up there on the top. So I have weather at real world weather. That's it. You just turn on the real world weather and you go. Now if you want to simulate a scenario that happened on this day at this time or whatever, then of course you can do all that crap. But for me personally, no. I just like real world weather is all I like. Keeping it real. In regards to weather, including clouds, how important is a realistic weather experience? How important is it? It's very important. We got to have these clouds as realistic as possible. You go into a cloud and all of a sudden you start getting shaken and boot around. It's like, okay, I shouldn't have went into this cloud as you're getting turbulence like galore because you went into an area you shouldn't have. So yeah, you got to have the fear of going into a cloud and then you don't want to be there. The whole purpose in the real world, from what I understand in the real world, is that you see a bunch of clouds, you make an effort to go around the clouds, especially when you're VFR flying, obviously, and when you're even if you're IFR flying, but you see a bunch of weather, watch a bunch of real world pilots on YouTube as an example, and you'll see them. The Baron pilot. Watch Baron pilot's videos. You'll see him in his videos how he goes around weather a lot, and it's just because he doesn't want to deal with the turbulence. And I totally get that. Why deal with the turbulence? Why go? I'm going to go through the turbulence. That's stupid. Don't do that. And there's been plenty of accidents that have happened. People saying, "Ah, F the weather, we're just going to go through it," and then they end up dead. So don't be afraid of the clouds, but don't if you have an option, don't go through the clouds. Even Steve Knievel, he will even in some of his videos, you'll even see him go around clouds or go above them or below them or whatever the case may be, depending on the weather conditions. So yes, weather is important, no question. In regards to weather, including clouds, how important is the visuals experience? Very important. Again, you got to have that feedback. You don't have tactile feedback here. I don't have a chair that can rumble for me to simulate I'm going through turbulence. Besides, I probably wake my wife up because I'm usually flying at night, and she's right over here behind me asleep. So yeah, you couldn't do that. But you know what I'm saying. In access to the live slash real time weather is important to you. Well, I just been saying this whole diatribe is about it. So yeah, it's very important. Is the ability to replay historical weather? No, I'm indifferent. I don't really care about historical weather. Okay, on to the next question. We move on. Let's let it read it.
Many add-on software depend on an updated navigational database. Which nav data, FMS data product do you use for your flight simulation? If you don't fly IFR, you may still want to update your scenery. However, if you are more of a DCS kind of guy, then this section probably matters little to you.
What FMS data products you use? See, this is just because this is Navigraph, it's just like, oh yeah, I use Navigraph, so Navigraph done. Is there anything else out here? Nope. Okay. Navigraph, goodbye. Moving right along.
That's the plan, Stan? In this page we try to understand how you work with flight planning.
Oh, okay. How often do you use flight planning services? Most of the time. Well, yeah, most of the time I would say. Even though I am flying VFR, I still like to put in the data and fly. Victor Airways and whatnot, even though you're probably not supposed to, but I do it anyway. I don't care. I'm in a sim, for crying out loud. I can do whatever the hell I want. What flight planning software services do you use? Well, I use Navigraph charts, little Navmap once in a while. Most of the time, the SkyVector, SimBrief, and that's it. So yeah, they should have another little subcategory that says put in order which ones do you use the most. Well, I use Navigraph charts the most, and then SkyVector, or I bounce between those two. Sometimes the SkyVector first, then Navigraph charts, and then SimBrief, and then Little Nav. The SimBrief sometimes will take you off. I had one flight, a quick little story. I had one flight that I was going up to Yellowknife, and the way SimBrief did it by Jetways at 40,000 feet or 38,000 feet or something, 35,000 feet or something like that, it had me go up, and then it had me do a big hook on around. And all I had to have done is, if I would have done the flight plan manually, I could have went up and I would have went around this other way, and I wouldn't have had this big, huge, long. It looked like a sickle, is what it looked like. It looked like a big, huge sickle. And that's the flight plan. But I just got the flight plan. I said, okay, Navigraph charts, this is where you want me to go. So I just did the flight, planned the fuel accordingly, and went as such. But the downside was I went all the way around. I went way around, and it didn't calculate that going to Yellowknife. And I think I was in, I might have been in Salt Lake City, and that sort of thing. So yeah, it was it did a dumb one. I should have just did a manual one, but I didn't do that. So that was my bad, that I just took the flight the way it was instead of actually just saying F you, I'm gonna do it my way, But oh well. Anyway, moving right along. So why do you use flight planning services? Why do you use flight planning services? Why? Because I want to find her out. Well, actually, If I want to find a route and I want to be able to generate it so I can actually have it load in and to calculate, the fuel, that's what you use SimBrief for, because it automatically calculates it for you. And the briefing package is cool too. Weather and atoms, I don't really care because I get that from um, this program right over here. Where is it at? Hey, here's my hello. Um, this program right here, AS Active Sky XP. That's what I get my weather from. Yeah, so that's what I get that from. But anyway, get back to the thing over here. Of course, now I just screwed it all up here. And boop, boop, boop. During this intermission. All right. So, when you select flight plan services, what characteristics are the most important to you? Well, accuracy is pretty damn important. Comprehensiveness, I don't care. Just give me a point A, point B. Level of detail, that's fine. Well, you could go either way. Sometimes I want a very simplistic, and sometimes I want a very detailed. So they're going to be wishy-washy on that one, unless it's only one. And of course, compatibility. Or I guess I could say level of customizations, and I'll turn those off. See if that works. Because you really could say, there you go, all of them. I want them all. Probably going to fail on that one. I want them all. Okay, good. What visual flight tracking products do you use? Well, I bounce between. Okay, Valianta. So I guess I do have an Orbis product. So, okay, well, it was free, so it don't cost me anything. I use that one. I wonder why Navigraph or Little Nav is not here. Check for flight. I use that one, and I use Navi charts. Navigraph charts. Well, here? Oh, here it is. Never mind. Already here. My bad. So I guess the only thing we need to add is do you guys see little nav here? No, I don't see little nav here. I'm going to put nav. Little nav map. People use that. I don't know why that wasn't in there. Very popular product too. Okay, how much do you estimate you have spent on flight simulation software in the last 12 months? Well, the last 12 months, let's see, I bought Microsoft Flight Simulator, which was $199 or $119, or 120 bucks. I bought a few add-ons for that, so we're going to say plus I just bought for $74. I just bought the latest thing of the BAE 146. So how much estimated spent? So I would say probably I'm gonna say $250. 250 USD. How much estimated have you spent on flight simulator software in the last 12 months? Please enter the amount as digits only in the currency. Okay, well, let's see if it'll accept the USD. If not, I'll just put 250 and call it. How often do you estimate you spend on flight simulator hardware in the last 12 months? Well, I just bought the only thing I bought was in the last 12 months was the Honeycomb Bravo, and what was that? Was that $279? I think it was $9. USD. Backwards. Dyslexia. Okay. In the past 12 months, have you not been able? Oh, say, in the past 12 months, have you not been able to purchase any of the following hardware? Have you not been able to? Avionics panels, too expensive. I'd like to have them. Computer, too expensive. Flight yokes and joysticks, I already have what I want, so I don't care about that one. Not interested in buying right now. Game chair, I'm not interested in buying a game chair. Graphics card, too expensive. Monitor, too expensive. Well, actually, they're fine. Not that expensive. We'll just say not interested right now. VR headset, I don't have a computer for it, so not interested. Xbox, hell no. Okay, so you didn't like my USD. So either you're going to, okay, so we'll go ahead and 200. Let's do the decimal points. See if it's going to act up. Not, I'm just going to say 279. Call it a day. Next. Okay, I didn't like it. So you know what? 250. 79. There you go. If that does it. If it doesn't, I'll do the dollar. Okay. What does your simulator setup look like? Check everything that applies to you. Now this is doxing myself. All right, well, it's doxing myself, so what do I care? Let's go. Let's see. I got a yoke. I got a throttle quadrant. Specific ones. I have track IR. What else? Hot towels. Hot towels. Hot women, maybe. That'd be nice. Yeah, I have several displays. Additional computers other than the simulator. Yeah, I had to have my dad's old computer. Tablet, and I have it, and I've used it, but not that much. Pedals, obviously. Pedals. I do have a HOTAS, but I don't use it because configuration. A PA system, no. Under the seat life jacket. No. No, I don't have any of those. Avionics hardware. Would you consider the SciTech panels, multi-function panel, as avionics hardware? Oh, that's what I'm going to do. That's what I'm going to guess at. I also have the SciTech comms panel. Several panels connected to create a panoramic. I have the ability to do that, but the resolution is terrible. So. How fast is your internet connection speed? Slow as hell. 100 to 140 megabits.
It's not only about flying. It can also be about being social and a part of a community. With whom and where do you connect? Where do you meet other flight simmers?
No. That just loops back to the other question we did previously about have you attended Flight Expo. Which flight simulation exhibitions or conferences do you plan to attend during the next 12 months? I don't plan on attending to any because the next one's probably going to be out of the United States. And if I can't even go down to San Diego or miss San Diego, do you contribute to the flight simulation community? Check all that apply to you. Do I contribute? Yeah, I make videos. Yes, as a video. How about a content creator? Now, I'm not really a producer. I'm a content creator. Yes, as a Twitch. Well, I don't really stream. Fine, I'll put that in there anyway. Video producer. Well, video, or I'll put down TENT, tent, CRETOR. Is that how you spell creator? Creator, ER. I'm just gonna leave it. I don't care. Content creator on alt tech. We're gonna put that in parentheses. Alt tech. F YouTube. Odyssey. Odyssey. Rumbl. Rumble. And Bit. CHUIT, I think is how it is. BitChute. Platforms. LATFORMS. There you go. Got to get that alt tech out there, people. Screw these frickin' YouTube assholes. It's censorship. As you can tell, I'm a very avid proponent of free speech. How often do you use the following platforms for the purpose of communicating with others in the flight simulation? Avsim and Flanquet. Discord, well, lately, even though they support BLM, but right now it's been frequently. Facebook, never F Facebook. FlightSim forums, never use it. Infinite Community, never used it. Instagram, I do have an Instagram, but I don't use it. Flight Simulator forums, infrequent. I do use it. Reddit, don't use it. Reddit's another politically motivated bullshit stuff. Flight Sim forums, don't use it. TeamSpeak, somebody still uses TeamSpeak? TeamSpeak still around? I thought TeamSpeak was long gone. Threshold forums, infrequent because I do. TikTok, no. I don't want Chinese to be able to know where I'm at every 24/7. That's another thing with TikTok. Screw TikTok. Twitter, no. Zuckerberg can go F himself. I don't use Twitter that much anymore. Explain forums, almost always. Very frequently. Explain.org. Or, well, Xpilot, sorry, guys. But yeah, so both of those I use more than anything on that. And as far as Microsoft Flight Simulator, yeah, infrequent. But if I do have anything to say, I will be either on Xpilot or on explain.org. There you go. Are you a member of a virtual airline? Yeah, I guess you could say. I'm part of FS Airlines, part of the CJ executive group of people who we fly and make a little scratch for the company and for ourselves. Do you fly online? No. Which flight sim and aviation related media do you consume? Airliner World? Nope. Avsim, infrequent. AP training? Nope. APO pilot? Nope. I know of them, but I don't remember. Auxiliary training? Nope. That's French? Nope. Flight Sim blog? Nope. FlightSim.com? Nope. Flight Magazine? Nope. EliteNet? Infrequent. EU? I don't know who EU is, so it's probably that one that I said earlier, so we'll say infrequent. FS Magazine? Nope. Hilly Simmer? Nope. Nope. PC Pilot? Nope. FlightSim.com? Nope. Threshold? Okay, do you use video at all? Do you use video at all to learn more about flight simulation or flight sim and pilots? Do I use video? Which video platforms do you consuming flight simulator? Facebook? Never. Instagram? Never. Patreon? They can go F themselves. TikTok? They can go F themselves. Twitch? They can go F themselves. Vimeo? They are very difficult to, so no. YouTube, unfortunately, all the time. Where I like to have in other. Assholes, put in other. Put in, Rumble and Odyssey in here. Because that's coming. That's getting stronger and stronger. I'm over there. D on M01 at Odyssey and on Rumble. Someone once said it is hard to make predictions, especially about the future. Can you help us along by telling us what you're looking forward to? And what future simulator or add-ons software release you look forward to most in this coming year? Well, I guess you can say I'm looking for X-Plane 12. X-Plane 12, I guess. Is there a flight sim product or service which you feel is missing, which should be improved upon? That's one to think about. I don't know what to say on that one. Other than I'll have to get back to. I can't think of one offhand. I mean, to make it better, um, I guess I could say. Let me do it over here. I have to think about on that one. Okay, so here's what I said. Streaming orthos with X-Plane 12 using Google Maps if desired. Third-party developer needs to create a streaming plugin like the one is used in Microsoft Flight Simulator platform to facilitate this request. There is a developer out there to kind of re-say again that is called, oh crap, I forgot the name of it offhand. Here it is. Over here at FlightSim.to, MSFS 2020 Google Maps replacement. Basically, it's a program that will stream and convert all the Bing maps into Google Maps, which in some cases is very helpful. In other cases, it doesn't really make that much difference. But to have this type of a program running in the background with X-Plane 12, because we already know that that X-Plane 12 is not going to have this kind of thing. X-Plane 12 is still going to have the derivative type, type of ground textures, and so having this streamed in the background on the X-Plane platform instead of having to actually do your orthos using Ortho for XP to create your ones like you see right here outside the 737 that you see right now. Which still looks good, don't get me wrong, and these are Google at 16 level 16 resolution, so it's not bad, don't get me wrong, it's not bad, but it would be better if you can actually stream this so I don't have to dedicate an entire hard drive just in orthos for the western part of the United States. See here on the X-Plane platform, here's for ortho for XP, and as you can see, I've got all the areas that I fly, which is most of Mexico, and of course the western part of the United States. Texas, I still got to fill in. Usually it's the Mississippi River, which is running right along right here, or right along in here, or wherever. Mississippi River west is usually where I fly, and of course Alaska, which I still have to do. But instead of having to do all this, consuming all the hard drive space, have the ability to use that program I just showed you, where on the X-Plane platform, X-Plane 12 platform, where it would just stream all this data in one shot, so you don't have to do all this. Hopefully one day somebody will come up with a utility to be able to do that. But until then, we got to use Ortho for XP as an example. Okay, so moving right along with the survey here, because I'm surprised I'm running out of time here. All good things. Let's see what this says.
All good things must come to an end, and this is, unfortunately, the last page of the survey.
Very good.
Now, if we can just ask you for a little feedback on this survey, and then we will wrap up for today.
For today? You got another one? Did you? Yes, I did. Okay, please rate the following statements that are in our current survey. I discovered something new about Flight Simulator while taking this survey. No. That's not I don't disagree. It's like, no, I didn't really find anything new. Do you think the survey covered in all aspects of Flight Sim? Yeah, pretty much. I know. I understood all these questions in the survey for the most part. I had to explain some of them. I felt the need to take a break during the survey. Well, I'm recording this survey and putting it up on my channels, on my video channels. So, did I have to take a break? No, I didn't have to take a break. So, why don't just yes or no? No. I think the survey was important. I think the survey is so important. I recommend the flight survey, my friend. No, I don't want to give you guys any pain. No, it's fine. Sure, why not? I'm excited to see the results. Yes, I am. I think it will take the survey again next year. Yeah, I did it this year and I did it last year, so I'll probably just take it again next year. Did we forget something? No. Are we done? Thank you for completing this survey. The results will be published on the 17th of December of 2021. All right. And then there's a survey monkey that says, hey, we want to boo your cookies and take all your information. We want to sell your information. So there you go. So that is pretty much the sum of the Navigraph thing, which is kind of cool. That was kind of good and whatnot. So I need to, now that my wife is home, so I'm going to have to end this video short anyway. So I definitely appreciate you guys watching. Definitely like, subscribe. And if you feel my content is worthy, I do have some donation links in the description down below. And I definitely appreciate you guys, again, watching this video. And I'll catch you guys next time on another video. And of course, we'll be back in flying instead of doing a survey. So I'll catch you guys later. Bye.